Yo, family, what's up? Now let's finish up what I'm saying, right? So when I'll be telling y'all, right, about how jurisdiction work, how the court works, what all legal loopholes you can use, what all legal ramifications you can use, I want you guys to understand something, right? Because you got a lot of attorneys that say if a person represent themselves, that'd be stupid, or if a person represent themselves, that'd be not the smart thing to do. Let me explain something to y'all. Lawyers here in America are members of the Bar Association. Lawyers can only challenge evidence, not jurisdiction. And many people will say, why can't lawyers challenge jurisdiction? All lawyer members have to abide by the rules and regulations that is prescribed from the Bar Association. So if the bar is pretty much like a referee, right? So you pretty much got to know what can be used, what can't be used, how you operate in court, what you can't do, how you got to conduct yourself, what laws and what statutes that can be used, right? Now, a few lawyers can use constitutional challenges, which is good. But the fact is, right, the lawyer cannot utilize every legal ramification in any trial or any court appearance. So a lawyer can't challenge personam jurisdiction in a criminal case, not civil, criminal. They can't challenge subject matter jurisdiction in a criminal case, not civil. They can't challenge procedural jurisdiction in a criminal case, not civil. Because a lot of people don't understand this, that criminal charges are called criminal lawsuit. You can search up the federal statutes, search up federal statute on criminal lawsuits. Criminal lawsuits is any time a person received an indictment or a criminal complaint or oath of office from sworn in from a police officer, detective, agent, whatever the case might be. Anytime they receive one of those, it's called a charging instrument, right? And people don't understand that the lawyers cannot challenge jurisdiction. And I know a lot of people run from it. They're like, man, if you could challenge jurisdiction, why your lawyers don't do it? That goes against the Bar Association. You got to understand, I represented myself in the state of Florida versus Williams, right? You can search it up, Taquan Williams versus the state of Florida, right? When I was talking to the attorney, right, I had a standby attorney, right? I represented myself, standby counsel just there just to assist you if you need any help or anything like that. And I asked him, hey, is this an administrative court? He said, yeah. And I asked him, like, man, I want to challenge the Second Amendment. He said, you can do that. I can't. I said, what do you mean you can't? I'm talking to him, right? I'm talking to him. He said, I can't do this. And I said, why you can't? He said, because it goes against our code of ethics. We can't challenge stuff like that. We got a limitation on what we can challenge. So he only can deal with evidence. He said, if you want to, you can bring in the Second Amendment. I said, watch this. I went in court and I mentioned the Second Amendment. The other attorney, oh, they heard Second Amendment, they damn near melt, right? The jury heard it because this is not common in jury trials, because the jury instructions are only based upon evidence and not the constitutionality of something or not the jurisdictional aspect of something. So let's just say if a person is fighting, they was caught with a bag of cocaine, right? Give you an example. Let's say if a person was caught with a bag of cocaine. Now, he got 45 grams of fentanyl, right? And fentanyl is a potent drug, right? Now, he go to trial. They not arguing. They arguing whether or not this person took possession or had possession or had or have constructive possession over this fentanyl. That's what they argue. They're not arguing, does the court has the proper jurisdiction to exercise over this defendant? Is the court well within its constitutional boundaries to exercise control over this defendant? Is this court established in law that can show and prove that this court have jurisdiction over this defendant? The court has something called a presumed jurisdiction, right? And so we got to understand, all attorneys have to argue within evidence. They can't argue within jurisdiction. They can't argue within constitutional. The lawyers, she was the head public defender over here in Orange County, which will be in Orlando. She told me that he's going to jail. She told the standby counsel that. They caught him with the gun. She said it just like that. You know, she was a white lady. She was a short white lady. She said they caught him with the gun. He had it in his waist. And he's a convicted felon. He's done. That's what she said. He said, man, do you want to plea? And I told him, man, let's go to trial. Right? I wasn't worried about that. So we went to trial. I mentioned the Second Amendment. Everybody mindset in there. I live in a conservative state with guns. Nobody want their gun rights to be taken away. It's in the books. We just forgot about it as the people. And so when I went in court and I told the jury that where in the Constitution does it says that a person has to have a license? These are the questions that I'm asking the jury during jury selection. Everybody in that jury sided with me. The prosecutor said, for a show of hands, how many people think we should have gun control? Not one person lift their hands up when they asked how many people should be in their right state of mind having a gun. Of course, everybody raised their hand. It's common sense. What the fuck? But the fact is, everybody in my jury was politically conscious to know what we can do as a people outside of the government control and regulation. So that was one thing that was powerful in my jury. It had nothing to do with the crime at that moment. This has everything to do with the Constitution being erased. And so what I mean is they can't challenge jurisdiction. They only can challenge evidence. And you want me to tell you what happened after I beat that trial? I beat it in 5 minutes. It wasn't 10. I had to trace back. It was 5 minutes, not guilty, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all something. All of the public defenders was happy. And they said, guess what? You was right. You was right. You was right. I believed everything you said, but we just couldn't do that. We can't mention the Second Amendment. It's against our code of ethics to mention the Second Amendment. So it's up to us, the people. You have to be politically conscious, and you have to be well aware of your rights, and you have to stand your rights firm. Don't do nothing stupid. Always be intelligent when you do things. But I'm just saying, listen, it's all about how you do it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So they caught the gun on me, so I couldn't deny possession. They showed them they didn't have a license. Not guilty. Politically conscious people. That's what we need to wake up the minds of the people. Everybody's so damn brainwashed and not knowing what's going on. All these liberals taking over. And that's what we have here. So hope y'all like this video. Spread it, and everything like that. Peace and love.